What if I told you that starting today, your own bank could decide when and how you access your money? Across the UK, thousands of retirees are walking into local branches only to face one word: restrictions. Tighter ID checks, smaller withdrawal limits, and sudden freezes are leaving many over 60s confused and frustrated. Banks insist it's about protecting seniors from fraud, but many believe there's a bigger shift happening quietly behind the scenes. Today marks a turning point that could redefine how pensioners handle their savings. Welcome to UK Pension Guide, your trusted source for everything related to pensions, benefits, and senior living. Here, we make sure you stay informed, stay empowered, and make your retirement years secure. If you haven't already, subscribe and join our community of informed pensioners. Across the country, major banks like Barclays, Lloyds, HSBC, NetWest, and Santander have quietly updated their cash handling policies. Each bank has its own limits, but the theme is consistent: smaller daily withdrawal caps, more ID checks, and greater scrutiny over cash transactions. On paper, this seems simple, but the reality is far more complicated. These new rules expose a growing divide in the financial system: a digital-first world versus a generation that still trusts physical cash. From now on, banks are flagging large cash withdrawals far more aggressively. Withdraw £1,000 or more from your own account, and you may be asked to explain why. Some customers have even been told to provide invoices, receipts, or written justification before they can access their own money. Imagine being asked to prove why you need your own cash. Banks defend these changes as part of fraud prevention, especially to stop scammers targeting older people. And yes, scams are real and devastating, but many pensioners feel these policies go too far. They see a system that treats honest people like suspects. After decades of working, saving, and paying taxes, retirees now face barriers to their own money. For those who remember the post office counter as a hub of community life, this feels like another door closing. In some branches, staff are trained to discourage large withdrawals. Seniors asking for a few £1,000s may be met with questions like, "What's it for?" or "Do you really need that much?" While some understand the caution, others find it deeply disrespectful. One 72-year-old from Manchester told the BBC, "It's my money. I shouldn't have to explain myself to anyone." She's not alone. Across social media, hundreds of similar stories emerge from older customers being questioned, delayed, or denied when trying to access their savings. But there's a bigger picture. These changes aren't only about fraud prevention. They're part of the UK's broader move toward a cashless society. In just 5 years, more than 5,000 local bank branches have shut down. ATMs are disappearing. While the government claims it's protecting access to cash, digital banking is rapidly taking over. Today, over 2.5 million older adults in Britain still rely on cash for most of their daily spending. For them, it's not about nostalgia, it's about trust. Many retirees have lived through financial crashes, watched banks fail, and seen scams rise. Holding physical cash feels safer, more tangible, and more personal. But under the new withdrawal rules, that sense of control is fading. Experts warn of cash exclusion, when people are effectively cut off from their own funds because the system no longer fits the way they live. It's not only about limits. Some banks now require appointments for withdrawals over £2,000. This means you can't simply walk in and take your money. You may need to wait days for approval. Imagine needing cash to fix a broken boiler, pay a tradesperson, or cover weekly expenses, only to be forced to wait for permission. Meanwhile, local branches, which seniors rely on most, continue closing at record speed. Data shows a branch shuts down roughly every 48 hours in the UK. For retirees in small towns or rural areas, that can mean traveling miles only to find an ATM out of service or imposing its own limits. Anti-money laundering rules require banks to report unusual activity, and large cash withdrawals often trigger these alerts. The Financial Conduct Authority says it's to fight crime, but critics argue it gives banks too much power to scrutinize ordinary people who are doing nothing wrong. So, what can pensioners do? First, stay informed. Check your bank's website or ask your local branch about withdrawal rules. Each bank is different. Some cap cash at £500 a day. Others allow more, but with extra checks. Second, explore other options. Many post office branches still let you withdraw cash from major banks and often have simpler ID procedures. Many retirees find this route less stressful. Third, if staff question your withdrawal, remain calm but assertive. Explain your situation clearly and ask for a written copy of the bank's policy. You have a legal right to know the rules. Remember, it's your money. While many banks tighten restrictions, not all follow the same path. Some, like Nationwide, have committed publicly to protecting cash access and keeping physical branches open. Others are accelerating toward full digital banking, encouraging older customers to switch to mobile apps or online platforms. For those comfortable with technology, this transition can be manageable. For others, it's isolating, creating a digital divide where millions of seniors risk being left behind. The government acknowledges the issue and plans to introduce laws ensuring communities have free cash withdrawal points, but policy often lags behind reality. Where does this leave Britain's retirees? At a crossroads between two worlds. One built on face-to-face service and paper bank books, and another driven by digital wallets and automated systems. Some will adapt easily, others will struggle. One thing is undeniable: the system is changing fast. There's another side few discuss. These new rules could delay or complicate major cash uses, estate planning, helping family, paying medical bills, or arranging funerals. Large withdrawals may now take days, and banks could flag or block them as suspicious. Personal freedom over cash is slowly replaced by digital oversight. The goal may be safety, but the result feels deeply personal, especially for older generations. So, what should you do now? Review your accounts. Speak directly with your branch manager. Ask for your daily, weekly, and monthly withdrawal limits. If you plan a large payment, notify your bank ahead of time. It can prevent delays. Most importantly, stay alert. These changes are only the beginning, and more restrictions may roll out in coming months. While banks insist no one will lose access to their money, access isn't the same as freedom. For many seniors, this marks the start of a quiet struggle, not against progress, but for the right to use their money as they wish. This issue isn't only about cash, it's about trust, independence, and dignity. The next time you walk into your bank, remember the landscape has changed. Every withdrawal, every transaction, every pound is now under closer scrutiny. For some, that feels like security. For others, it feels like surveillance. For Britain's retirees, the fight to control their cash is far from over. In fact, it's only just beginning. Stay informed, stay confident, and take charge of your financial freedom. Thank you for watching UK Pension Guide. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with other seniors who need to know about these important changes. Your awareness is the first step toward keeping control of your money and protecting your independence.